A 134 team playoff that consists of every single team. I'm recording this intro after I did all the recording. I just want to say it took like 5 hours of recording. It took a ton of hours of breaking down the editing. So make sure you guys please hit the subscribe button, especially if you guys do enjoy it. I want to shout out Bordeaux. I know me shouting out's not a huge thing, but I did get this idea from him, so I want to give it credit where it's due. And as I did say before, I'm recording this intro before anything has happened. So I'm telling you right now, there's a ton of upsets you guys are going to want to see. I'm going to try to keep this as short as possible. Here we go. Oregon was able to pick up the win over UMass. Obviously, this is a no-brainer. UMass is the worst seeded team, and Oregon was number 1 seed. So not very surprising at all. Oregon will be moving on to the round of 64 pretty easily. We have 2 minutes left in this game. NC State is up by 10 currently. It is 3rd and 6. We're going to have to see if Cincinnati can clutch up and pull off this 10-point deficit here with only 2 minutes left. It's going to be very hard for them to do considering they're going deep here. Are they going to get it? That's dropped. Oh my goodness. That would have been huge if they were able to catch that one. But like I said, there's only 2 minutes left, so it's going to be very difficult to come back here with only this much time left. All right, 4th and 6 here. There's a minute 53 left, like I said before. They are still down by 10. They're going to need to pick up this first down here. Can they do it? The quarterback's looking, goes to the left side. That's going to be the first down there, so they do get the first down. But they're going to need to do a lot more to get into this game. 1st and 10 here. Cincinnati's looking back. He's looking to throw. He's got all of the time in the world. All of the time in the world. He's going to get sacked. He literally had like 5 business days to throw the ball, and he didn't throw it. I have no idea what he was doing there. He did not cook with that one. 2nd and 19 here, Cincinnati looking back. I don't know who the quarterback is. Goes over the middle. That's going to be overthrown. It's going to be incomplete. We're going to be coming up to a 3rd and 19 for Cincy. All right, 3rd and 19 here. Cincinnati's back. He's going over the middle. That's going to be intercepted. NC State's going to intercept that. They're going to end this game. They're going to end up winning, I think 21-14. I doubt that the points will really change. That's going to be the end of this game. LSU was able to pick up a very easy win here, 34-7 over Appalachian State. It is just Appalachian State, so I didn't expect anything less. All right, here we are. Florida was able to pick up the win, 41-17 over Arkansas State. Once again, not an upset by any means necessary. So another pretty easy win for an SEC school. Florida is going to be meeting LSU in Baton Rouge next round. Clemson was able to pick up the win over Eastern Michigan, held them to a shutout. A MAC school going up against Clemson. You probably should have expected that result. 30-0 Clemson onto the round of 64. Utah taking on Rutgers here. Rutgers was able to pick up the win. Now, they did have to play in the snow. There is going to be some weather factors in some of these games, but didn't stop Rutgers. They still were able to pick up the win and move on to the round of 64. Here in a rivalry game, actually, which is the first rivalry game that was played, BYU was able to take down Utah State, winning 24-10. BYU is ranked 17, Utah State was ranked 112, so even though it's a rivalry, the rank difference is insane. James Madison taking on USF. James Madison did pick up the 17-7 win. We still have yet to see any upsets, but honestly, we're probably not going to see much in the round of 128. Here we go. We have a good one here. This could be a huge upset here. Wyoming is only down by 3. He's got to scramble away. He does throw that away in time, so he was fine. He didn't have to worry about getting sacked. 21-24. Tennessee is up. Tennessee is ranked 8th. Tennessee is ranked 8. So if Tennessee does lose this game, that would be actually insane. But Wyoming still has to drive down the field and at least get 3 to force an overtime. On 2nd and 10 here, Wyoming's looking back. They're going over the middle on a short little route. They are able to pick up 4 yards, so they are inching closer to that first down, but they're going to need a lot more than that. All right, here we are with 2 minutes left. It is 3rd and 6 for Wyoming. They have to play in this intense environment. They're going to the left side. That's going to be a first down there. That's a good little out route there, and they're moving the chains. Looking here, 1st and 10, they're going to motion somebody over. There's a minute 57 left in this game. Going over the middle, that's going to be caught, and a huge pickup for Wyoming. That's going to bring them closer to field goal range at least. Looking here for Wyoming, he's back to throw. Going to the right, he just does throw that away. So no pickup, nothing happens there. An incomplete pass out of bounds. Looking at 2nd and 10 here. Wyoming back to throw. Looking, got all the time in the world. Throws to the left side, or I guess the right side. That's going to be a pickup of about 7. 3rd and 3 coming up here for Wyoming. Going hurry up here is surprising. I did not expect them to do that. They do have all 3 timeouts. I guess maybe they're preparing for defensive possession if they have to. I'm not sure. 1 minute left in this game. He's looking to throw. Goes to the right side. That's going to be caught, but dropped. Wyoming drops it after the hit, so they're going to have to settle for the field goal. It's going to be about a 47-yard field goal, so this is definitely going to be an interesting kick here because it's not a guaranteed kick is all what I'm trying to say. All right, 4th and 3. They are going for the field goal. Here is the kick. This is going to decide the game here. If they miss it, it'd be detrimental. That's going up, and that looked like it was wide right. It was. That was missed. Wyoming misses the kick, and Tennessee's going to take over on the field. Let's see if Tennessee is able to end this game by getting a first down. First and 10 here for Tennessee. They are going to hand it off to the right side as expected. He's got a lot of room. Dylan Sampson has a ton of room, and he's going all the way. This is going to be a touchdown. This is going to end this game. Tennessee is going to pick up the win over Wyoming and just survive, and they're going to be moving on to the round of 64 as Dylan Sampson hits the Heisman pose. Here goes Oklahoma. They are down by 4 with 2 minutes left in this game. They're going to need a touchdown here to take the lead. They're going deep towards the end zone. That's going to be caught as a busted coverage or something. Wide open receiver in the end zone. Oklahoma is going to take the lead here against Colorado State in the snow. First and 10 here for Colorado State. They're going to need to drive down the field and at least get a field goal. Probably want to go for the touchdown. He's looking. He's got time in the world. That's going to be thrown over the middle. That's going to be intercepted. Oklahoma is going to take over possession, and they're most likely going to end this game here, as Oklahoma forces an interception at the end of this game and survives against Colorado State, assuming that they're going to be able to pick up a first down here, which I'm willing to bet they probably will. Looking, handoff for Oklahoma to the right side. That's going to be a first down, and that is going to end the game. Let's get on to the next one. Missouri is able to survive the round of 128 as they take down New Mexico 35-14. They will be moving on to the round of 64. Michigan able to handle business with Kentucky, winning 27-0. Kentucky just was not able to handle the cold weather, it seems like. Boise State was able to handle business with UAB. They do win 35-14. Ashton Gianti probably went off. I don't know, but I'm willing to bet he did. Nebraska is able to hold off San Jose State. They do win by 3. Lots of field goals for Nebraska. All 4 points, or all 4 endings of their drives that they scored on end up being field goals, so they do score 12 points and somehow win. But they're moving on around to 64 regardless. Here is a win for Oklahoma State. I do believe this is the first upset we've had. They do win 24-6. So a huge win from Oklahoma State. They're moving on to the round of 64. 3rd and 8 here for UCF. They do need to score before this game is over. At least a field goal. They're going to the left side. That's a call, and that's going to be a touchdown. USC is going to get up on Marshall to take the lead. That is a huge touchdown there for UCF. 3rd and 10 here from Marshall. They're looking over the middle. That's going to be intercepted, and UCF is going to pull off this win. They would be advancing on to the round of 64. Texas was able to handle business with Florida Atlantic. Not surprising at all. I could see Texas going very far in this bracket. 35-14 was the final score. North Carolina was able to handle business with Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern, another team you wouldn't expect to make it to the next round, so not very surprising here as North Carolina moves on to the round of 64. They don't have Bill Belichick as their coach. Western Michigan coming down the throat of Tulane as they have the chance to take the lead or at least tie the game. They're looking left side. They're able to catch it. That's a first down for Western Michigan. There's going to be a timeout called on the field. Western Michigan needs this one. Western Michigan here on 1st and 10. They do motion somebody over. They're looking to throw it all of the time in the world. Holy. That's going to be caught on the sideline. A pickup of about 6 or 5, it looked like. And another timeout is called. 2nd and 5 here. There's 33 seconds left. Western Michigan looks to the right side, picks up the first down as they continue to come in the face of Tulane. Western Michigan running a hurry-up offense. Looks like they're going to spike the ball here with about 10, 13 seconds left in the game. Western Michigan's going to get a couple shots in the face of Tulane here, right in their end. Let's see it. Western Michigan runs to the right, and they're going to call a timeout. They might settle for a field goal here unless they want to take a shot, like I said, in the end of Tulane. Western Michigan is going to go for the kick. They're going to call a timeout to ice him. This should be a give-me kick, though, so we're looking like we might have a little bit of overtime play here in this one. Western Michigan for the kick, 3rd and 6. The snap, the kick, the hold, everything. And, oh my God, he just missed it. There's actually no way he just missed that kick. Western Michigan is going to lose to Tulane because of a missed 20-yard field goal. Dude, this is insane. TCU comes behind Northwestern and picks up the win 24-10 here to move on to the round of 64. A massive win for South Carolina over Central Michigan. Arizona was able to handle the meat of the Razorbacks very easily. They win 20-10. Travis Hunter was able to put his female problems aside, and they were able to pick up the win 24-7 over Mississippi State. They're moving on to the round of 64. Trying not to fall asleep while this game is going on. Houston is only down by 3. They do have the chance to score here and take the lead over a military school. Navy's probably ran the ball 45 times, and it doesn't matter anymore because Houston just scored a touchdown for the Cougars. I wish I could get a Cougar in my life. Navy's going to have to pull off one of the greatest miracles in college football history to score here, aka being a military school and getting a Hail Mary. I really doubt this is going to happen. He's got all the time in the world. He's going deep, though. Let's see if he's got it. There's literally like 2 people over there. Was that caught? No. Was it? No, it was not. That's going to be the end of the game. Houston's able to pick up the win 10-6 over Navy, and that's going to be our first military school that's out of the tournament. 4th and 1. The game is on the line. Ball State has a chance to pull off the biggest upset probably of this entire bracket. They are able to score, forcing a possible win. Isn't that a win? Because Penn State, I swear, only had 7. Hold on. Show me the scoreboard. Yeah. Ball State has a chance. They just need to lock in on defense, and they'll pull off the biggest upset of the tournament no matter what ends up happening. Penn State is going to have to make a 50-yard field goal to tie this game and force an overtime. They have a left-handed kicker. They have a left-footed kicker. The kick is up. I can't even see the ball. It's good. He nailed that thing. That would have been good from 60. Oh, my Lord. We're about to see overtime, and I guarantee you Penn State's about to pull off the win. Penn State was able to score, but Ball State has the ball at the 3-yard line, forcing another overtime. That's going to be intercepted in the back of the end zone. Oh, my goodness. Oh, dude, that would have been such a big upset. That is so disappointing. Penn State is able to hold on to the victory and knock out Ball State in round 1. UConn is able to knock out Cal in the snow here on the East Coast. So tough travels for Cal, tough weather to play in. Not surprising that UConn was able to pull off this one. They're moving on to round of 64. Kansas was able to bend over UL Monroe and pick up the win. They win 42-21. A 23-10 win for Georgia Tech. They're able to knock off Coastal Carolina. No matter how much blue you put into a game, you're not going to win. Alabama is able to hold on for the victory here, winning 24-16 over FIU. Actually, fairly close considering the talent difference between these two teams. It is a win for Alabama, though. Moving on to the round of 64. East Carolina did shoot a lot of their balls at Kansas, but they were not able to win. 31-7 the final score. Kansas moving on to the round of 64. The Illinois Fighting Illini are going to be telling Charlotte to head back to the NFL. They're not the real 49ers. Final score 17-14. Illinois is moving on to the round of 64 here in the snow. Washington State faces Northern Illinois. They win 49-10, so they're going to have to actually head to Illinois in the round of 64 to take on the actual Illinois team. So on to round 64, Washington State goes. UTEP was never able to penetrate the end zone. They lose 24-0. UTEP didn't even score. Come on. Auburn was able to pick up the win over Liberty. Liberty, you guys are done for the bracket. Auburn, on to the round of 64. ODU is actually going to pull off this upset, winning 13-10 over Baylor. I did not expect Old Dominion to win a game, but they somehow did. They picked up a win, and they're on to the round of 64. The Raging Cajuns, which I swear were just a fries, or a type of fry, are able to pick up the win. They win 24-13, and they're also moving on to the round of 64. Let's be honest, Georgia State never really had a chance in this one. They lose 31-7 against Miami. I don't know how Michigan State, they haven't been good since probably the 1905s. Michigan State loses to Jacksonville State somehow in an embarrassing way. Iowa State is able to cook up their rice and they win 17-3. They're moving on to the round of 64. We're going to see Boston College in the round of 64 as they take down South Alabama. A lot of no-name schools or schools that no one even cares for are losing in this round. I figured it would be that way. Indiana was able to pick up the win over San Diego State. San Diego State just wasn't able to handle the cold weather. Indiana is used to it. That's probably the big difference in this game. Sam Houston is actually about to beat a Big Ten school as long as they can make this kick here. If they can't, we're going to be seeing overtime. 4th and 12, 10 seconds. They're going to kick this field goal. Are they going to be able to make it? The kick is going to be up, and it is going to be what appears to be good. That one is good. Sam Houston is going to take down Wisconsin. This is insane. I did not expect a Big Ten school to be bounced by Sam Houston. Duke was able to handle business with Hawaii. They win 17-13. It's in the snow. Hawaii had to travel like probably 12 hours to even get here. So can't really even blame Hawaii for losing this one. A good little Big Ten matchup here, and it does end well for Maryland. Minnesota is getting bounced. So the away team Maryland pulls off the win 31-21. That is the final score, and they're moving on to the round of 64. I never thought the day where I'd see a pack of wolves lose to a bunch of horses, but somehow that's what just happened. 24-0 SMU wins, and they're on to the round of 64. Vanderbilt very close to scoring here. It is 1st and goal. They're down by 3. They're looking here. You got all the time in the world over the middle. That's going to be a touchdown. Vanderbilt will take the lead as they possibly have the chance to take down Virginia. Let's see if Virginia can somehow pull off a score. This is going to be the last play of the game. It is 4th and 17. Virginia is way backed up to their own 6-yard line. They're going to have to pull off something I've never seen before. He's looking, and he looks like he throws over the middle. That's going to be caught and dropped. The game is over. Vanderbilt picks up the win as they take down Virginia, and they're moving on to the next round. Syracuse was able to handle business against Louisiana Tech as they win 31-7. Doesn't matter the conditions, they're in a dome. Fresno State about to score here against Ohio. They're very close at the 13-yard line. In the snow, does not matter. Fresno State's looking, goes to the left side. That's going to be called touchdown. Like I said, I had a feeling they were going to score. They were driving way too fast to not score that drive, and they take the lead over Ohio University. There's 12 seconds left of this game. Ohio is going to have to pull off a field goal to force an overtime with 10 seconds left. The kick is up, and it is going to be good. Ohio forces overtime, it appears, unless Fresno State returns a kick or something. Fresno State is going to be kicking a field goal here. On 4th and 3, they're kicking a field goal in overtime. Ohio's still going to get the ball, so the kick is going to be up, and the kick is going to be no good. He misses the kick. Ohio just has to make a kick now in order to take the win. 4th and 8 here for Ohio. They're going to be going for the game-winning field goal kick. Fresno State did call a timeout. It didn't matter. It skipped right over it, I guess, for some reason. So we're going to see the kick here from Ohio. The kick is going to be up, and the kick is going to be good. The field goal kicker has to be player of the game as Ohio pulls off the win from 2 field goals. What an incredible ending. Ohio is on to the next round. We're here in West Virginia. The game is tied with 2 seconds left, and it looks like Texas State is going for the game-winning field goal. It doesn't matter if they're playing in snow or not. The kick is up, and they do make it. They're moving on to the next round as they pull off the upset over West Virginia. Wake Forest is able to pick up the upset over Texas A&M, and they're going to be moving on to the round of 64. A big upset here in Texas A&M territory. North Texas comes to Iowa and plays in the snow and picks up the win. This is another upset here in the first round. A big upset here as North Texas is moving on to the next round. Ole Miss is able to pick up the win. Were we really surprised? Did we really think Florida State was going to go anywhere in this bracket? This team has been the most disappointing team I think I've ever seen in my lifetime. It's going to be 2nd and 10 here for Western Kentucky. They're down by 3. They're going to the right side. That's going to be caught, and he's going to have some room. He's going to have a lot of room. He's going to go all the way and score a touchdown. Western Kentucky is going to take the lead here in crunch time. What a play by Western Kentucky. They drew that up perfectly. A big win here for Western Kentucky after that clutch touchdown. They're going to win 21-17 and pull off the upset. They're moving on to the next round. We are deep here in overtime between Troy and Army. This would be a big upset as Troy was one of those teams that you would not expect to go this far. They're going to be wide open on the 2-point. We are very deep into this overtime. Like I said, we are in overtime to the point where we have 2-point conversions going. We were not expecting that one. Army with the ball now. Army does need to score here. If Army does not convert this 2-point, they lose and they are eliminated. They're going to get blown up right at the line. Army is going to be losing this one. Troy is going to move on to the next round. What an upset. No one expected to see Troy move on this far, even past the original 12 round. Buffalo already has the lead here. They're going to extend it with this field goal. It is up. It is good. They're going to be taking a 4-point lead, and USC is going to be forced to score a touchdown here with very little time left. USC literally did nothing with that drive, and Buffalo pulls off the huge win as Sean Doylak. I'm pretty sure I've seen this guy on TikTok. I'm not going to lie. But anyways, he gets the game-winning play, I think, and that ends it. Buffalo is moving on to the next round. I genuinely cannot believe what I'm witnessing right now. Ohio State is about to get bounced by Purdue unless they can pull off a Hail Mary or something here. As Will Howard's going to get sacked. That's going to be the game. Ohio State goes down to Purdue. Purdue is like literally the lowest seeded team or one of the lowest seeded teams, and they get bounced they bounce Ohio State. That is actually insane. I don't even know what to say. Miami, Ohio is able to send UCLA back to the West Coast as they win 16-10, and somehow they're moving on to the second round. Also, there's a lot of teams I would not expect to be in the second round. UCLA does kind of suck, though. Stanford is able to pull off the win, even with their goofy looking tree. They win 27-15, and they're moving on to the second round. It's really quite beautiful to see some of these upsets happening. It is 4th and 6 here for Texas Tech. They're going to need to score here right now as they are down by 7. He's looking all the time in the world over the middle. That's going to be caught in the touchdown for Texas Tech. They're going to be able to kick the field goal and tie this thing up as Texas Tech is able to score a game-tying drive. What a play. Oh, my Lord. Texas Tech is going for the 2-point conversion, guys. They are saying we're winning or we're going home. We are either getting upset or we're winning. Going over the middle, wide open touchdown, Texas Tech. They're going to win this game. Going ballsy, very, very ballsy there as they take the 1-point lead over UTSA. Oh, my, I did not expect that. I actually have no idea, but Akron just pulled off a win over Arizona State. Arizona State is going to be eliminated. Another upset. MAC schools are actually doing fairly well in this tournament. Another MAC school win as Bowling Green comes to Washington and pulls off the upset, takes down the Huskies. I did not expect this one either. Air Force, with their triple option offense, is looking to go with a game-winning touchdown here, but they're not going to get it. UNLV pulls off an interception, and UNLV is going to win this game and be moving on to the round of 64. We just witnessed Toledo in real life beat Pitt in a bowl game, but in this game, Pitt is going to take the win, and they're moving on to the round of 64, where they will take on UNLV. There's only 2 seconds left in the game. Oregon and NC State are tied, and Oregon is about to possibly lose if NC State is able to pull off this 58-yard field goal. Yes, you heard that right. It is a 58-yard field goal for NC State. We're going to see the kick is up. This will end Oregon's season if they make it on a line drive. That was in! NC State's going to win. NC State knocks off Oregon, and they're going to move on to the round of 32. The number 1 seed Oregon goes down in the snow at home. None of it matters. NC State kicks a 58-yarder. Florida is going to be able to walk into Death Valley and pull off the win over LSU as they win 21-13, and they are moving on to the round of 32. Clemson is going to pull off this win over Rutgers, and they're going to be moving on to the round of 32 as they win 13-10. BYU is going to end up winning this game as they shove it straight down James Madison's throat, winning 22-16 and moving on to the round of 32. Oklahoma is going to be able to hit it straight from the back on Tennessee and win 27-13, and they're moving on to the round of 32 and a big upset here in the second round. Missouri bent over and gave themselves up to the University of Michigan, and Michigan wins 34-0. This game wasn't even close. No matter how big Ashton Jeanty is or how long he is, it is going to be the end of this game. Nebraska wins 26-14. In a battle with 2 teams that were able to pull off upsets in the first round, UCF comes out on top. That is not the UFC. You are not throwing haymakers. You're a football team. You still won. You're in round of 32. 4th and 38. I don't know if any team has ever been able to pull this off. Maybe the last time this did happen, Abraham Lincoln might have been president, but it's not going to happen today. Texas is going to come on and win this game, able to finish it out. They did like to edge us here a little bit to see if they could get upset. They didn't. They win 31-24. They're moving on to round of 32. Tulane delivers a backbreaker. They win 17-14 over TCU. TCU is eliminated. Their fall off needs studied. After they lost to Georgia by 80,000 in the playoff game, they fell off. McClellan wasn't going to be able to help out Arizona enough. They are going to fail in this one, and South Carolina is moving on to the next round. Travis Hunter sat out this game as he was dealing with some female problems. They're going to lose this one. Houston wins 21-10, and they're moving on to the round of 32. Penn State wins the snow game against UConn. It was once again close. I don't know how this Penn State team's still alive. They've barely beat 2 teams they should have cleared. Kansas State is telling me right now that they don't need Will Howard. They're going to pull off this win, winning 31-21 and beating Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech will be seeing you in Cancun. We're in the 8th millionth overtime at this point. If Kansas scores here, though, it is ball game, so we better be seeing a score sometime soon. They're going to hand this one up straight up the middle. That's going to be close. That's going to be in. It's going to be a touchdown, Kansas. They're going to knock off Alabama as we are starting to see a lot more upsets here in the second round of the playoffs. Thank God some of these top teams are going 41-39 and 85,647 overtimes. Washington State, you were able to beat Northern Illinois, but the actual Illinois school takes you out to dinner and then doesn't pay for it. You're paying for your dinner. You guys lost. Georgia just did unspeakable things to Auburn. They're moving on. Miami. I don't know what I'm talking about. Miami barely beats Jacksonville State. They're moving on to the next round. Jacksonville State will be seeing you guys in Cancun. Indiana pulls off the win over Sam Houston. I'm pretty sure Sam Houston's not even a real school, so seeing them get eliminated doesn't bother me too much. Indiana, on to the next round. Maryland pulls off this win over Duke. Duke barely was able to get past Hawaii at home in the snow, so this one doesn't surprise me at all. SMU handles their business with Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is the trash can of the SEC. This year they actually had a pretty solid year in real life, but in this one they're getting eliminated. Ohio didn't have enough skibbity toilet riz. Syracuse was able to pull off this one, and they're moving on to the next round. I genuinely do not believe what I just saw. Texas State just took down Notre Dame, and somehow they're moving on to the round of 32. North Texas is able to handle business with Wake Forest. Both these teams, I don't know how either one of them even got to the second round, but North Texas is headed to the round of 32. Ole Miss wins a good battle with Western Kentucky. Western Kentucky didn't have enough to win it. They lose by 10. Ole Miss is moving on. Troy pulls off the win here, winning 20-12 over Buffalo. Both of these teams had no right being in this round, but somehow one of them is going to the round of 32. Purdue bounces Miami, Ohio, and their Cinderella story continues after taking out Ohio State in the first round. They're headed to the round of 32. Texas Tech is going to need another touchdown at the end of this game to win. Let's see what they do here as their quarterback starts scrambling and he fumbles. Stanford's going to pick the fumble up, and the big man is actually about to take this all the way back as Stanford's going to win this one, and they're moving on to the round of 32. Bowling Green was able to hold off Akron in what was actually a pretty good MAC game. 17-13 was the final score, and Bowling Green is a top 32 team. Pitt's not going to get the touchdown, and UNLV is going to hold them off, winning 10-3. They're headed to the round of 32, where they'll take on Bowling Green. Moving on to bowl games, NC State was able to take down Florida in the very first bowl game of this series. Now, I will tell you, NC State is looking very hot right now. They're doing very good. They did take down the number 1 seed already, and they just took down Florida. Clemson was able to handle business with BYU. BYU is kind of like a team that I'm not too sure I would trust to win it all. But anyways, they win the Cure Bowl, and they're moving on to the round of 16. We are here in overtime, and Oklahoma is looking to win this game, and they are going to be able to do it, winning the Boca Raton. Shout out to AJ Big Justice. We bring the boom. Oklahoma just won the Boca Raton Bowl. We bring the boom. It does not matter if UCF is from Florida. They're able to take down Nebraska in the rain. Not rain, that is snow, but they're able to pick up the win anyways. Texas is able to pull off the win here in the Independence Bowl, winning 17-9 over Tulane. Texas is moving on to the Sweet 16. This is going to be an L here for South Carolina as Houston takes them down, and Houston will be heading on to the Sweet 16. All the way out here in Los Angeles, Penn State wasn't able to hire enough prostitutes and strippers. It doesn't matter. Kansas State's winning this game 20-10. Illinois is able to take down Kansas, so Kansas, you were able to beat Alabama. Thank you for taking them out. It don't matter much, though, because Illinois is winning. They're on to the Sweet 16. Georgia continues its dominant path as they take down Louisiana. I would not be surprised if Georgia wins, and low-key, they're kind of my favorites to do that right now. Here in the Frisco Bowl, Miami was able to pick up the win. Another team I would not be surprised if they won. Miami wins this one, so there's that. Here in the Gasparilla Bowl, Maryland was able to pick up the win in a Big Ten matchup, and they're moving on to the Sweet 16. I would not have expected this. Syracuse is currently up 21-17. Syracuse has the ball. They're going to be able to pick up this win fairly easily, not super easily, but they do get the comfortable win, and SMU is going to be eliminated as Syracuse bounces it outside. They're taking this one. Outside of Texas, we have a ton of Texas teams. 28-17, Texas State wins this one, and they're moving on to the Sweet 16. Would not have expected this team. Here in the beautiful city of Detroit, and yes, I did say beautiful city of Detroit, Ole Miss is going to be able to pick up the win over Troy, winning 14-7 as they continue to advance. The battle between two teams that are in the 100 seeded wise, Stanford takes down Purdue, ends their Cinderella run, but they continue their own. Here's your credit score matchup. UNLV wins 14-7 in the Guaranteed Rate Bowl as we're going to be moving on to the Sweet 16. Clemson was able to take down NC State here in the Sweet 16. They're moving on to the Elite 8 in this Liberty Bowl. In the snow, it does not matter for Clemson. They're winning this one. They're moving on. I'm not even sure what this bowl is called, but Tony the Tiger's on the logo, so it's pretty cool. Oklahoma wins this one. They're moving to the Elite 8 where they're going to take on Clemson. Texas gets this win to move on to the Elite 8 here against Houston in Las Vegas. They're going to be taking on the winner of the very next game. Kansas State makes Illinois fans regret ever being a fan of their team. They destroy Illinois, winning 27-0, and they're in the Elite 8. What on paper seemed to be the best game of this playoff so far, it is Miami winning this one 20-13. They're moving on to the Elite 8. Georgia, we'll be seeing you guys later, man. Syracuse is going to nail this one out as they take down Maryland. They're moving on to the Elite 8. I did not expect them to get this far. But like I said, a lot of these teams that have gotten here, I didn't honestly expect them to get this far. A lot of upsets have happened. The Cinderella story of Texas State does sadly come to an end as Ole Miss is going to win this one and punch their ticket to the Elite 8. They're going to take on the winner of the very next game. Stanford is able to handle business pretty easily against UNLV. They pick up a huge win. They're moving on to the Elite 8 where they're going to take on Ole Miss in what should be a very exciting game, especially considering Stanford shouldn't even be this far. Here on second and goal, Oklahoma has a chance to take the lead and win this game here in the Orange Bowl to move to the Final Four, and Arnold is going to run it in. Arnold runs it in, and Oklahoma takes the lead. Now all they have to do is hold off Clemson on defense, and they are headed to the Final Four. Oklahoma does hold off Clemson in the Orange Bowl. They're moving to the Final Four. What in the world just happened? I cannot believe Clemson just lost to Oklahoma. They are seated in the 90s, and they just won. They win the Orange Bowl, and they move on to the Final Four. Kansas State was able to kneel it out here in the Fiesta Bowl as they take down Texas. I would not expect a team like Kansas State to be this far into the playoffs, but they are as they move on to the Final Four where they're going to take on Oklahoma. Miami handles business in the Cotton Bowl as they take down Syracuse. Syracuse had a great run, another Cinderella story, but Miami was able to handle business, and they're moving on to the Final Four. The biggest Cinderella story of this tournament, Stanford goes down to Oklahoma, or not Oklahoma, excuse me, Ole Miss. Ole Miss quickly becoming known as the Cinderella Killers as they have taken out two teams now that have been big Cinderella stories in this bracket, but no longer for Stanford. They are eliminated, and Ole Miss is headed to the Final Four. Kansas State handles business in the Sugar Bowl. They take down Oklahoma, and they are moving on to the national championship game. Kansas State is able to win this one. Like I said, I did not even expect them to get this far. But all of a sudden, they're in the national championship, and they have the chance to win this whole thing. I just said ting. I just called it a ting. They have a chance to win this whole thing. That is insane to me that Kansas State has made it this far. There's definitely something weird about seeing Miami and Ole Miss compete in the Rose Bowl, but what might be weirder is seeing Ole Miss in the national championship game in a 134-team playoff. Ole Miss, led by Jackson Dart, we know he got some off-the-field issues with his girls, but anyways, he's going to the national championship. That don't even matter. He is a national championship contending quarterback at this point, as he's going to take on Kansas State, and low-key, I think I got Ole Miss in this one because Ole Miss has been kind of dominant. Kansas State spiked it there, but there really is no point. And we got Kansas State players pushing their own teammates. Kansas State is going to lose this one. Ole Miss is going to win your bracket of 134 teams. You heard that right. All 134 teams were included. Obviously, we did have to do the 12 teams that were outside of the tournament that jumped in. But Ole Miss wins this one as Kansas State. Let's see if they can have anything in them and pull off something incredible. They can't. Ole Miss gets the sack on the very last play of the game. 134 teams, one winner, 133 losers, and that winner just so happened to be Ole Miss. Jackson Dart, I don't care if you got girl problems. I don't care what you got going off the field. You're a champion, buddy. You win out of a 134 team playoff. You deserve the respect. What a bunch of games, man. There's so much twists and turns in this. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys subscribe. Like I said, we will continue to pump out content like this if you guys want it. 134 teams is insane. There was way too many upsets. My favorite team, Ohio State, got bounced round one by Purdue. Like, are you serious? Anyways, like I said, subscribe if you guys did enjoy.